Vinny Curry going to join us here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline in just a second. No, he is set to be a free agent. Now, he was a free agent a couple of years ago, and he went to Tampa, and that's where WrestleMania is this year. So I know he's going to be making at least a return to Tampa for that, right?
Oh, God. If Vinny's not at WrestleMania, then I'm worried about waking up the next morning because the world might be ending.
Now, on Raw the other night, Brock Lesnar announced that he's going to be the number one entry into the Royal Rumble. Oh. You know, Brock Lesnar tried out for the Vikings defensive end, so we know Curry is a better defensive end than Lesnar is.
Yeah.
Wasn't Lesnar on the practice squad for a little, or no?
I don't think he made it. He didn't make it.
Okay.
I'd like to see Curry versus Lesnar in the ring one day. That would be pretty fun.
All right, let's bring Vinny Curry into the conversation here. There's one thing you got on Lesnar, right? You're a better defensive end than he is, right?
Yeah, man. I would like to hope and think that I'm a better football player than he was.
Well, Vinny, obviously a tough way for the season to end. It seemed like at the last 4 weeks, everything was kind of just starting to move in the right direction. Over the last 4 weeks, was there a time where you started to feel like this is different? We're starting to get it now.
Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. It was electrifying. When you really think about it and really watch the film, I probably watched it 3 or 4 times, and then the more and more you watch it, the more and more you realize, man, we should have won this game, and it shouldn't have even been close.
Yeah, I mean, the game, obviously, your defense, we said it all week leading up. If you play the same defense that you played against them the first time, 17 points, that you should walk out with the win, and it just obviously wasn't there. But overall, your play over the last, 6-7 weeks really started. We had 4 sacks since week 12. What was it about the last, half of the season that you started to really pick up some sacks and really be a big part of the defense?
It was just an opportunity. Coaches increased my role, and I just took full advantage of the opportunity, man, and I'm thankful for it.
I always wonder, Vin, because a lot of your pressures came, at least in December, you got a lot of inside pressure. You were lined up on the inside. Do defensive ends like to move inside and face those guards? Do you always feel like you have a better advantage against the kind of the smaller, slower guys?
It depends on. I can't really speak on everybody else, but I like to go in there. Mm-hmm. I just like being on the field, honestly.
And so when you found out you were going to play more in that package, I guess you were happy about that because A, it gets you on the field, but B, you get some good mismatches too.
Yeah, exactly. So, our coaching staff had a great game plan for me. Down the stretch, and then it was just up to me to execute it.
Right. I know you came back after Tampa, and you loved. Obviously, you won a Super Bowl here. It's your hometown team. You love the scheme. Jim Schwartz is in Cleveland today, interviewing for a head coaching job. If he were to get it, and the Eagles have to bring in a new defensive coordinator, does that change how you would feel about coming back as a free agent because it might be a totally different scheme?
Nah, bro, you gotta understand. I've probably been through 4 or 5 defensive coordinators since I was on the Eagles.
True.
Well, with that, you were a free agent. I mean, you got released by the Eagles back before 18, and then you got a chance to be a free agent. You got that 3-year deal with Tampa, and it didn't really work out well there. What did you learn about being a free agent that time that maybe you'll take under consideration? Because a lot of times it's like I'm just going to go where the money is or where the weather is. Right. It seems that what you learned that first time, that it sounds like that kind of stuff maybe not matter as much the second time around.
Well, down in Tampa, I had a severe sprained ankle week 4 that kept me out for 10 games. And I think I came back for the last 3 games of the season. By then, the season was already over. And so it was just a mutual interest, just both parties wanted to move on. But I already knew in my heart where I wanted to play at. And, it got me to where I'm at right now. So when you really think about free agency, you will like to think that the Eagles will want me back,
Vinny, besides yourself, deciding where you may be playing next season, Malcolm Jenkins is also in that group of players where we're not sure what's going to happen with him. He obviously came out right after the game and said he's looking for a new contract. Just talk about Malcolm and yourself as leaders in that locker room and what he means to that locker room, because you know as well as anyone.
Oh, man, Malcolm, on and off the field, man. On and off the field, he's one of those guys that I want like kind of keep everybody calm. I can't say enough good things about him, man. He's just an awesome teammate. One of the best teammates you can possibly have. Everything's about him, like I said, like. So that situation, man, I hope it works out. You know what I mean? But that's the way this business goes, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. Vin, now that makes me think, because you grew up in Jersey and you grew up an Eagles fan, and I'm wondering, as Ryan asked you that question about Malcolm, if you remember where you were or your feelings at the time that Brian Dawkins went to Denver and wasn't going to, didn't finish his career as an Eagle. What was that like for you that day as an Eagles fan?
Oh, man, I was like, damn, that's crazy. It was just he didn't look right in a Broncos uniform.
Yeah.
Kind of like me in a Tampa uniform, it just didn't look right.
That's true. It just did not look right. So it sounds, though, Vinny, that your intention is that you would like to be back with the Eagles first and foremost. Is that accurate?
Oh, man, yeah, that's absolutely. This is where home is. You got the most passionate fans in the world. They're going to make sure you give 110% effort, and if you even give 109% effort, they're going to call you out on that 1% effort that you didn't give. So you got to love it, man. Got to love it.
Well, I know it's so quick, too. I mean, the season just ended a couple of days ago, but give the fans a little bit, the listeners a little bit of an indication on how that, like, you have your meet, the season ends, and then you come in and meet, they say, hey, Vinny, we're going to contact you in a week or two. We want you to come back, or are you kind of left hanging out in the dark for a couple of weeks?
Well, they got to dissect everything too. They got to go back and watch every single game, from offense, defense, special teams. They got to reevaluate every single player. They got a whole nother agenda than what the players have. Players go away, we do extra meetings, and we go home. They have a lot on their plate. They got a lot, to build a championship team and get ready for the 2020 season. So, like when free agency start, I'll just be hoping to hear from them. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I say.
How much do you think? Howie Roseman brought this up today that losing Malik Jackson he thought was a big loss. How much do you think that would have helped having him around? Because it seemed that the guy next to Fletcher was constantly changing and getting hurt, but when they brought Malik Jackson in, it obviously was a guy they really thought would make an impact. How much do you think that hurt the defense?
Oh man, shoot, a lot. I mean, Malik is Malik. He's a Pro Bowler caliber player, and he's like, one of the best defensive tackles this game has to offer. So they definitely hurt us a lot.
Do you think, Vin, some of your future has to be decided on based on what the rest of the D-line looks like? Because I feel like there's a couple of guys who are going to be free agents, if I'm not mistaken. Then you have Osman, who got hurt. He'll be coming back. Avery is a guy that they traded for. There are so many names, and honestly, all you guys have different kind of skill sets and shapes and sizes. It seems like the front office has to figure out the best pieces of the puzzle here.
Yeah, it's what 8 defensive ends.
Yeah.
That's just something that when they have their meetings and they evaluate every single player, they pull it all on the table and they pick who they want.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, you can't control that. That's just the nature of the business. They got you two guys as the host. When you guys filed for the job, I'm pretty sure other people wanted to host your show, but you guys got picked.
Actually, Mike just picked us off the street, man. It's kind of a bizarre situation. We pay him to actually.
Well, that's essentially. I did it, Vinny, the way that you guys did it. I was just plucking guys off the practice squad. Hey, you guys want to play? Come on out.
I'll be Boston Scott.
How cool? How neat was that to see guys like Boston and Ward who. You watch them work hard all the time in practice, and they don't. Yeah, and then they go out in the field. There's probably some guys who are like, "See, I knew this guy should have been getting more time."
Nah, it was cool to see, man. We see those dudes in practice all the time. Like, I tell G Ward all the time. It's like, that's why a lot of us players wasn't surprised, or the coaching staff wasn't surprised that the players, took off the way they took off. And we see that on the regular.
Now, when you saw Josh McCown limping a little bit. Don't lie. How cool would it have been to see Ward take some snaps?
Oh, I see. First, I was making sure Josh was all right.
Sure.
Josh is another teammate of ours that probably one of the best teammates you could ever be around. But the CG Ward back out there, I know he would have been lit up like a Christmas tree. He's so funny, man, and it would have been cool back there to see him back there try to throw a couple passes.
Vinny, talking about that game, I mean, obviously it was a loss, so it's disappointing regardless, but you had a pretty big play. That field goal block was awesome to see, and, how cool was that, and where does that play rank for you, just individually?
Oh, man, you know what? That play, I just thought that was going to be the momentum shifter that we kind of needed.
Definitely.
Me too.
You know what I mean? And Carson got hurt. Because me personally, for him, I wanted to win for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That dude works his ass off, and it was just like the way he works and approaches practice and approaches the games. You only can give him your best, So it was just a cool thing. Blocked field goal. And I'm like, we about to score. So if you watch the game, you see half the defense don't even go sit down because he's so hyped. We want to see him score. You know what I'm saying?
Was that your first one?
Cool.
Ever?
Nah, it might be my second one, I think.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though. I once blocked a field goal in high school. It hurts like hell. Right? I mean, when they kick that ball off your hand, the damn thing hurts.
Yeah, you got to tip it like Hester did on the double doink one where it doesn't.
I'm sure it doesn't. It's probably the adrenaline of that. When you block that, Vinny, the adrenaline going through of a blocked field goal in that moment must have been awesome in front of that crowd.
No, man, it was real awesome, especially playoff moment, crucial moment.
Yeah.
And then, the last couple plays been, just kind of been crucial plays, and to be making them, in crucial times, it was just like, you know what I mean? It was tight.
Hey, Vin, you brought up Carson Wentz and how much you guys wanted to win for him. I don't know if you guys as a team know this, but there was a surprising number of people on, say, Twitter or social media with a blue check mark, like somebody who might have played the game or analyzing the game for a while, who criticized Carson or made it seem like this is just another injury. Were you guys aware after the game of how much kind of weird criticism he was getting for getting hurt?
Nah, we really don't. We really don't get into all that. Those is outside noise. Like Coach Peterson said, those are outside noise. We call them distractions. Right now, we don't listen. We we ain't into that. All that.
Right.
He's not even into that. I'm pretty sure he's not even into that. He could care less what somebody else thinking, as long as it ain't guys inside that building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a strength that you guys talk about a lot about Doug, especially over the last few years when your backs were against the wall and you've rallied. And I don't know that people on the outside can really truly understand what Doug does that enables you guys to not kind of lose it when things are, when your backs are against the wall. Can you put it in the best way you can for us on how Doug keeps you guys all focused on the mission, even when it seems like everyone's counting you out?
Well, I could put it in nice terms. Put it like this: we shouldn't be in the way he will go off and go, But the bottom line is we should have won a couple games early on, so we shouldn't have been back against the wall. So when the back against the wall, his fangs come out, and he turned into a different animal, man. It's like,
really?
Yeah.
I don't think people know that about Doug Peterson.
Boy, yeah, listen.
They think he's like the, oh gosh, we'll be fine type, but I guess you're saying the different. All right. Does it remind you of Andy?
Fire lit other people's asses, yeah.
I did hear, and Fletcher Cox said this, I saw a bite from TV. He said that he played, so he knows when we need days off. He knows how to handle us, and he also knows when to chew our asses out.
Exactly. Yo, listen, he not lying. PG-13 version, he not lying.
Now, what about Jim? Does he do that too? Does Jim have that same on-off switch, or is he more like the same kind of guy?
No, Jim has the on and off switch, but Jim is just in charge of the defense. We talking about the whole overall team,
right?
Offense, special teams, and defense.
Yeah, it's a big
and other coaches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coach Peterson, It don't take no SHIT now.
But you guys got to start winning more games earlier so Doug doesn't have to turn from Jekyll to Hyde. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting to hear, though. That's refreshing to hear. And not that we're critical of that he's not. It just, I think it's pretty cool to hear that he doesn't take any, nothing from these guys. And a lot of times, right. So will you be at WrestleMania in Tampa?
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
All right. That's what's that? Late April. It's going to be I know the Royal Rumble's coming up. Brock Lesnar's the #1 number. That's going to be interesting. And I know you're a big fan of that. So are you into the Wednesday night wars at all? You watching the 2 Wednesday shows?
Yeah. I'm watching them. I'm watching them on NXT and AEW.
Who's winning?
Watching it a little bit.
All right. Who's winning those wars? AEW or NXT?
It goes back and forth. It varies.
All right.
It varies. I'm thinking that stuff he fits, but you know how I go.
I love it. All right. Well, I know the offseason will be interesting. We'll see if he's back. We enjoy always talking with Vinny Curry, and it's nice to catch up, pal.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys having me, man.
You got it, Vin.
Definitely love coming on you guys' show. I like coming on Billy's show. I just love the whole Boardwalk team, period.
Yeah, man. Well, it's nice to catch up with you, and we like having you as well. Vinny Curry, like all guests, appeared via the Boardwalk Honda hotline.